And they were pointing, and the nose of the horses were pointy. So the first two set of horses went by. The second two horses went by, and they were high-stepping horses. Jet black. Then, when they passed, excuse me, then I saw the carriage. Now, there was this guy on a carriage who had a high-collar coat. You know, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde coat. You know what I mean? High-collar coat. He had a hat on. And he had the rings of the horses that they were clopping. You can hear the horses going clock, 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 going down the street.
How were they going?
Yeah, shut up. That's my wife for you. You're making fun of me. Anyway.
This reminds me of the Headless Horseman kind
Exactly. Exactly. It's right in that story. Anyway, so I saw the carriage. The carriage was very, very distinct. Jet black. And I could see the wheels turning. It's very, very spooky. Now, what I was telling Justin is, where in the hell, or what the hell is a carriage with black horses, a guy that looked like Jack the Ripper, and a carriage going down Rubidoux at 10 o'clock in the summertime, going down where in the hell is it going? I don't know. It was a spooky night. It was a very spooky night. The next day I asked my neighbors, and my neighbors didn't hear anything. Okay? So the story ends, right? It don't end. 40 years later, you hear me? 40 years later, I'm at my brother's house with his two children. It's Sandy and Teresa. You know who they are. Well, you know who Sandy is anyway. I think.
Sandy.
Yeah. And we're all in there, and they have their kids and their husbands, and they had their mother was there, and Christy, and we're all in there. We're having a barbecue, having a nice time. We're having I have a couple of beers, not a whole lot, you know what I mean. And then they wanted to talk ghost stories because they know I have about 8 ghost stories that happened in my life.
I broke down.
This is one of them that was particular. You've heard already one. This is the second one. So they wanted to hear ghost stories. So I'm telling the ghost story. And then all of a sudden I'm going, hey, I got one more ghost story. So I come up with the horse and carriage story. When I got through with that, Sandy and Teresa started to go into hysterics. And I'm going, what's the matter?
They saw it too.
No, their father saw it. And their father was telling that story over 40 years. And they said, sure, Dad. Sure you saw the horse and carriage. Sure you saw Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Oh, yeah. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that he was telling that story. So I was telling Justin, talk about confirmation. To this day, when I get around those two girls, they don't want to hear no more ghost stories. My brother saw the same damn thing I saw.